Hello, good evening, and welcome to your authoritative current affairs maritime program, Eye on Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, GWEL PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. This program is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. We are streaming live on Facebook at Port of Tema. Also on Facebook, we are streaming live at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. On YouTube, we are streaming live at Eye on Port Ghana. Eye on Port Ghana. In the course of today's discussions, we would activate the phone lines where you could call in and also send us your WhatsApp messages. And the number to send your messages are 053 803 7353. The numbers again 053 803 7353. We're going for a quick message from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come.
Shut up!
Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Well up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from GWEL.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for GWEL Super XP Ron 95. GWEL, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse. And my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Suddenly my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, so you're welcome back from the break. It's time to look at some news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry, including Mother's Day message from the president of the Port Ladies Association.
At Mother's Day, you know, as women, especially as working women, whether you've had children naturally or not, or you are playing a mother role for anybody, it's a celebration of your womanliness. And sometimes it's important to celebrate yourself first rather than to wait for somebody to celebrate you. So I want to encourage them that no matter what the situation is, to celebrate yourself and your achievements, because you have to look at life and see yourself as better than a lot of people. The world is your stage, you have room to grow. So don't be discouraged. If there's nobody to celebrate you, celebrate yourself. I wish them a happy Mother's Day. Do what you enjoy or what makes you happy on that day, to celebrate yourself as not only as a mother, but as a woman who's privileged to be a working woman. Especially now that we have a lot of young ladies amongst us joining us in the past few years, I want to encourage them that they are in the right organization. They are privileged to be working with Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. There are many opportunities open to them. It's up to them to avail themselves, apply themselves to the work that they have been assigned, and ensure that they are growing the organization, because in focusing on the growth of the organization, you are growing yourself as an individual.
The 4-year SWAIMS project, which is a training in maritime affairs and security along the Gulf of Guinea at the Regional Maritime University, has ended. The EU-funded program with the Regional Maritime University, which was set to begin in September 2019, but delayed due to COVID, took off in 2020, finally meeting its target of training 72 participants. The 4th SWAIMS training, which lasted for 6 weeks, commenced on April 2nd, 2024, featuring 18 participants from the ECOWAS sub-region. The project had 9 modules that guided participants through both theoretical and practical lessons, from introduction to maritime security environment to maritime crisis management. The coordinator of the SWAIMS project, Engineer Augustus Adilamte, expressed optimism that the project will influence practices in the maritime domain to enrich and make the space safer and secure for efficient work.
I'm hopeful that with the learning, the teaching and learning they've experienced, and the collaboration and interlinkages that have been established, when they go back, they will now try as much as possible to influence, so that the actions that have initially been taken and seem to be not achieving will be achieved at the end of the day.
He commended the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea, the Navy and other organizations in the maritime industry for their immense support to the project.
I think the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, the FCWC, the Navy and other bodies in the maritime sector have been very helpful, because we don't only do classroom work, we also visited all these institutions. And as we visited these institutions, the participants got to know firsthand what is actually on the ground.
Speaking at the program, the Circuit Court judge, who was a participant from the Judicial Service, Her Anna Agnes Opoku-Banier, stated that the project has equipped them with the requisite knowledge to foster maritime collaboration, cooperation, and coordination in dealing with maritime crimes and happenings at both national and international levels.
Your insightful presentations, educational tours, role plays, simulation and group exercises have equipped us with the requisite knowledge and skills to promote maritime cooperation, collaboration, and coordination in dealing with incidents at sea at both the national and transnational levels, the linkages between national maritime security and wider regional maritime security.
A principal state attorney with the Attorney General Department, Veronica Yaira Adigbo, expressed her satisfaction with the project.
It's been an interesting experience studying maritime safety. There were different aspects of the course. We learned about the Yahudi architecture, the blue economy, and then the Zone F.
An Ivorian representative from the West African Regional Maritime Security Center, Captain Sumana Adamu, said the project has helped them in identifying threats in the maritime industry and possible solutions to resolve them.
The management of Tema Fishing Harbour has held its second quarter stakeholder meeting at the National Fisheries Association of Ghana, NAFAG Hall, to discuss ways to improve operations at the harbour. The quarterly stakeholder meeting provides a platform that brings together all stakeholders of the fishing industry under one roof to deliberate on issues of concern. The senior medical officer at the port of Tema, Dr. Roland Akpala, who represented the General Manager for Health Services at GPHA, Dr. Vitus Victor Anab BC, revealed that the Tema Fishing Harbour Clinic has been completed and handed over.
The structure for the clinic has been completed and handed over to the user department, that is the Health Service Department.
The Port Civil Engineer, Engineer Stephen Ampiao, who is also the incoming General Manager for Tema Fishing Harbour, disclosed that the sanitary condition at the Kanun Basin has been improved to create a congenial working environment for stakeholders. He said the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has addressed their concerns on excessive water bills and rate increases.
On the issue of the high rates, like Chairman said, it is being handled at the corporate level. That's at the DG's level. It's engaging the PURC and the Ghana Water Company Limited. And as soon as there's any new development, we'll make that available.
The outgoing General Manager for Tema Fishing Harbour, Engineer Kwabna Asamoah, thanked the stakeholders for their support in the past years and outlined some improvements to the working conditions at the fishing harbour during his tenure.
We're able to successfully improve the hygienic conditions in and around the fishing harbour through especially the decongestion exercise we jointly carried out with the involvement of everybody as well as all the stakeholders, and chief fishermen playing the lead role for us.
The European markets women appealed for the installation of a market gate and water tank to aid their business.
All right, so away from that, it's time for us to look at the word of the day. And today's word is abandon.
Abandon. Abandon refers to an action wherein a shipper or consignee seeks authority to abandon all or parts of their cargo.
All right, so welcome back to the studio. Tonight, we're discussing safeguarding the ports and borders against contaminated consumables, the role of the Food and Drugs Authority. And tonight, we have in the studio one official from the Food and Drugs Authority. There are actually two, but one will be joining us via Zoom this evening. So in the studio, I have Mr. Percy Adomako Ejekum. He is the head Center for Import and Export Control at the Food and Drugs Authority. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Okay. Also on Zoom, we have Joseph Yawbeni Beni. He is the Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs at the Food and Drugs Authority. I will start right away with Mr. Percy, and then while we wait for Mr. Benny to join us in the studio. Today is Mother's Day. Any wishes?
Yes, please. First of all, thank you very much for having Food and Drugs Authority on this platform. On behalf of myself and my colleague who is here to join us, Mr. Benny, I wish our mother, the mother of Food and Drugs Authority, Dr. Delisi Dakun, other members of ESCO, who are mothers, and all mothers of Food and Drugs Authority, and my own mother, Margaret Jomfua, and Mam Pokoa, Mother's Day.
All right, that's fine. We wish all mothers happy Mother's Day. This day is actually used to honor them. I mean, they've played key roles in our lives, and so such a day is when we used to honor them. I understand we have Mr. Benny on the line. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Very well, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so Mr. Benny, I would like to start with you. This evening, we are looking at safeguarding the ports and borders against contaminated consumables, and we're looking at the role that the Food and Drugs Authority is playing in this regard. I want to find out from you, what measures has the Food and Drugs Authority put in place to ensure safety of imported food and drugs at Ghana's ports?
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. As we are all aware, FDA is the national regulator when it comes to food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, household chemical substances, and biological products. So the act that regulates FDA's activities ensures that before any of these products are brought into this country, they should have been registered. And registration is to ensure that those products meet the standards of quality, safety, and for drugs, they should be efficacious. So it is assumed that before any of these products come into the country, they have gone through this process. So when we ask that, what measures has FDA put in place to ensure the safety of imported and food and drugs, we want to say that FDA will ensure that, or FDA do ensure that any product coming into this country, if it is not registered, it cannot be imported. This is strictly enforced at the port. So before you even import a registered product, you should have a permit that will allow you to bring in the products. So the products must first have been registered. FDA also ensures that the quality and safety of those products on the market are the same as the ones registered. So we have a market surveillance system. So we sample products that arrive, and we sample products on the market to ensure that their safety, quality, and efficacy as they were before they were registered are still maintained on the market. FDA also has a lab at the port, a very modern lab, to ensure that samples that are taken at the port are immediately analyzed quickly, and the results are used to decide whether the product should be allowed into the system or they should not. Once we get the results, if they are not conforming, immediately the products are detained at the ports, and then, where appropriate, they are safely disposed of so that they do not get into the system at all. Again, we have our mini labs and our truth scans all over in the country, in our regional offices, and even at the Tema ports, to ensure that once we are on the field, we are able to ensure that these products meet the required standards before they even get into the market. So, in brief, FDA ensures that before the product gets into the system, and whilst they arrive at the port, the immediate checks are done physically and then through the lab. And then, should they get onto the market, we have our truth scan, we have our mini labs nationwide to ensure that their quality, safety, and the other parameters are safely guarded and protected to safeguard the health and safety of the government.
All right. Very well. You touched on the policy that you implemented the last time. That's the no registration, no importation policy. I would want to find out from you, how far have you gone with this policy?
You want to find out how far we've gone with the policy?
Yes.
Yes. So currently, if the product arrives at the port, what we expect is that that product has been registered, and two, the importer has a valid import license to bring the products in. If the products arrive and none of these can be attested to, that is where we invoke this principle of no importation, no registration, no importation. The goods are immediately detained, and then other regulatory activities kick in. I would like my colleague Percy to add a bit to this particular point, and then.
All right, that's fine. So, Mr. Percy, let me come to you. How are you ensuring that this policy that you once introduced succeeds?
Yes, so like Mr. Benny said, this policy is not just introduction, it's reinforcing the Public Health Act. Like he said, we said that if not registered a product, if you cannot import, manufacture, distribute, retail a food or other FDA regulated product if they are not registered. So fundamentally, the no registration, no policy is re-emphasizing that one. So if such products come and it's not registered, like I said, we detain them and take them through the appropriate regulatory measures in terms of testing, in terms of evaluation, in terms of all the safety and quality parameters. If they meet FDA requirements, before a decision will be taken and the consignments will be released to the importer. And of course, other regulatory sanctions always apply to such.
Yes. So talking of the sanctions, and I know when you rolled out this particular policy, you said if they import the product and then they don't register, you, instead of going through the process, you would have some penalties that they would need to pay. Is it the case?
Yes, the penalties are enshrined in the fees and charges legislation. So depending on the category of the product, the requisite fees applied. And also, these are the areas that will also bring some sort of delays to the what do you call it, the importer, because unlike if the product is registered, like I was saying, it goes through straight clearance processes. This one, they are detained for you to complete all these processes before the consignment are released to you if it's proven to meet FDA regulatory standards.
Okay, let me
But for the records, if you look at last year data, I must say that the figures have dropped down in terms of now consignment that we are clearing. The registration numbers have improved. That of the procedure, which is those that are coming that have no registration, that are really going down. Looking at the two data for over the year.
In terms of compliance, you say we have high compliance.
We are improving.
That.
We are improving.
Okay, so how then? That leads me to my next question. How are you collaborating with other stakeholders like customs, the Port Authority, and the Standards Authority, and all that to ensure that the products that get onto our market are safe?
The port environment is like a family or a community where different state agencies and other stakeholders are interacting on the product to regulate. So we use the common platform known as the ICOMS, Integrated Customs Management System, where all imported products can be found and accessible to all stakeholders. So that's the first point of interaction. So this enables us to track the product that we regulate, and also through our joint inspection system, because
the GIMIS, is it still working?
Yes, it's working because of the nature of our work. Products may have other agencies' role to play. So this joint inspection, as established, is to enable all stakeholders to be able to work on consignment at a go. So joint inspection system, FDA will be there, GSA will be there, customs will be there. So all this enable us to collaborate so that we'll be able to make decisions on products that come.
And how does this also improve trade facilitation?
It is actually improving trade facilitation because instead of individual institutions coming one after the other, the joint inspection provide a platform for all of us to meet on the consignment once it's open for all inspection and other activities to be done, so that the decision we take become one of, so that it delays the process of inspection.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Benny. So yes, I want to find out from you, in terms of public education, what initiatives has the FDA undertaken to raise awareness about the risk of contaminated consumables?
Okay, thank you very much. One of the things FDA does very well is public education, and ensuring that our partners, our colleagues, our stakeholders are all on the same page with us. So we have a lot of activities in terms of public education. We have a lot of press releases. If you have been following us, you realize that we release a lot of give out a lot of press releases whenever issues that concern products or processes that FDA is involved are concerned. So we have a lot of press releases to inform the public. We also have a lot of market debates. We really go down to the markets to interact with market women and people in the market, those who come to the market to trade and to buy and to sell. We have a lot of interaction with them. So we engage in a lot of public education. Our teams also go to schools. We go to churches, we interact with Muslims in the mosque. We have community engagements. And so in terms of empowering the public to have knowledge and information about the products we regulate, we do a lot of public. We have also a heavy presence on social media, a lot of presence on social media. And almost every day we are there giving information to our clients, our stakeholders. We have stakeholder engagements. We also engage in a lot of radio and TV programs. And then nationwide in all our offices, we have client service points so that clients who physically come to us, we engage them. Those who call on phone, we also engage them. So in terms of getting our public or our clients be aware of what we do, we have a lot of engagement. And like I said, by way of summary, we have press releases all the time. We do market debates. We have heavy presence when it comes to social media. We do a lot of radio and TV engagements. And then when it comes to schools and churches, even on Sundays, weekdays, we are all over the place. And we are engaging our clients to ensure that when it comes to regulating the products that we deal in, our clients are well informed to partner us to ensure that the public health and safety can always be guaranteed and assured. So, and like the opportunity we have today, we are engaging the public as well to ensure that whatever FDA does in terms of ensuring that products that we put out there are safe or the right quality and efficacious in terms of drugs, they are abreast with us, and then they can always get to us. Our lines we have short codes, we have free lines, and our website is also very active. We have a lot of information on our website, and we know clients go there a lot to also get information. So we interact a lot with our clients to make sure that whatever we do, whatever information we want them to get, they are able to get, and they are always abreast with issues that concern the products that we regulate.
Yes, I mean, talking about the education, the public education that you embark on, I know in these interactions there should be a two-way, communication. So, what sort of feedback do you get from your client? I mean, those that you educate and all that. I mean, what feedback do you get from that? Because it shouldn't be only FDA taking out a message to them, but also receiving feedback. So, in terms of feedback, what do they tell you?
Okay, so we have we also organize a service, client service that we take feedbacks directly from our clients. When we come to our clients' services, at times we have forms there that clients can fill and talk to us about their experience. Our email, we have also interact with them by email. They also send us messages through emails. Our social media platforms are also there. WhatsApp, they also send us feedbacks as to what interactions they have. When the client works with us at the client service and they are leaving, we interact with them. How was your experience with us today? We get feedback from them. Some would want to write, so they send through emails, through our social media platforms. So we get a lot of feedback from them as well. Like I said, periodically, we also organize the client service to pick out how our clients feel towards us and our processes. So we get feedbacks from our clients periodically.
All right, thank you. I'll be coming back to you. But let me come to the studio and then speak to Mr. Percy. Find out from you what technologies or systems has the FDA implemented to enhance surveillance and monitoring at the ports and borders as well.
Yes, thank you very much. I think Mr. Benny, in his intro, mentioned some of them, but the technology we use basically are the ICOMS system, which offers to actually know and see all imported products on that platform. We also use the scan images for all products that comes to enable us to identify consignment that have been concealed, that are misrepresented or misdescribed, and also undeclared. FDA also have its own database on all registered products, which used as a basis to check the registration status of all products before we clear. Additionally, we have a laboratory at the port of entry and also at strategic points nationwide where products that are coming, where need be sampled and tested. All this is done in collaboration with customs and other stakeholders at the port to ensure that such products meet the right safety and quality before we clear them.
Okay. And then what is the FDA's response protocol if an item has been identified to have been contaminated or to be unwholesome? What is the protocol in place?
So once a product is suspected of contamination, we immediately report such incidents to the head office. For the head office to work with the registration departments who actually have database on details on how the product was registered, its composition, and where necessary, they will also liaise with the market authorization holders, and samples will be taken and analyzed in the laboratory. If it proves okay, then that's fine. If it proves it fails, then safe disposal will also be done by working with other agencies like Port Health, Customs, Metropolitan authorities, because they manage the disposal sites, EPA. So we go through all this to make sure that if the product is proven to be contaminated based on laboratory analysis, are safely disposed of. Obviously, there's also other sanction that is applied, including also prosecution where need be.
All right. I want to find out from you, still on this one, this is a follow-up. So there have been instances where we have the FDA issue statement to recall certain brands and all that, or certain products and all that. I mean, first and foremost, what the general public, begin to worry about is the fact that how did those products get to the market in the first place?
Yes. If a product happens to have issues on the market in terms of safety, it always doesn't necessarily mean that at a time maybe it is coming, that problem is there. But in the course of even the normal product life cycle or market, things can happen. Because like Freddie said, we continuously monitor the product safety and quality on the market. So if such through exercises we detect a product, then the recall process will be triggered for consumers to be brought to either the market authorizing holder or FDA offices for other regulatory measures to take place. So it's two things. If it's come through the normal import, we will pick them. But if in the course of normal product life cycle and market in the market, the post-market activity is also able to identify those things for such action to be taken.
Okay, so
let me add a bit to this.
Okay, Mr. Ben, you can come in.
Just as Percy said, if it comes through the normal process, we would have detected it immediately at the port and it would have been dealt with. The product might not come normally or usually through the normal products. We must accept it. Some products can be smuggled into the system. Again, a product can come in wholesome, but in the course of time, storage conditions, etc., may affect the safety quality of the product. And as we indicated earlier, we consistently monitor these products. So if any issue comes up whilst the product is on the market, then the recall process is kicked in. What you realize is that it might not be the entire, all the batches of the product that are being recalled. Maybe specific batches are the ones that are being recalled because there might have been a particular problem with that particular batch. So the products would have either come in, as indicated, through the normal process, but one way or the other, some issues might have cropped up with the quality and safety of the product, so they must be dealt with and must be recalled from the market. But again, like I indicated earlier, if it is a small product that came in through an unapproved route and FDA was not able to detect it at a point when it entered, our monitoring on the market helps us to detect it, and therefore we will call it in terms of for public safety that it is not kept on the market to affect anybody's health and safety. So that is what happens when the recall process is called into action.
Okay, Mr. Benny, let me still stay with you. On this one, this particular one, I mean, is it that do you have offices at the various borders? Because it seems for the port, that place is well structured, so you are able to detect if there is any consumable that is contaminated or is unwholesome. But the borders, do you have FDA officials there?
Yes, most of the borders, we have officers and offices at most of the border points across the country. I must concede it's not all the border posts, but the majority of them, we have presence there. We also work closely with customs. So when there are products that must come to FDA's attention, because we have regional offices that are in contact with them, once they get these products, they also inform us. They call our regional offices, and then we liaise with them and deal with them. But let me also quickly add that there are some border posts that are obviously not manned. So some of these products, people take advantage of them and bring them in through those ports. But we work closely with customs. So border posts where we are not present, they assist us with information to ensure that we are able to quickly deal with such products. But it also happens that some of the border points which are unmanned, things come through. And when they come through, fortunately for us, our market surveillance system helps us to pick them up on the market and deal with them.
Okay, there's a question here, and Isaac from Techiman, he wants to know what makes a product unwholesome. What makes, how you detect a product which you say it's unwholesome? I mean, how do you come to that conclusion?
Okay. So like we indicated, we have a strong market surveillance system. And so every product that we have registered, every product that we have issued import license for, and all products that have come into the market, we monitor their presence on the market nationwide. We have consistent and constant market surveillance activities nationwide. So in the course of these, we are able to pick some of these products. And we have mini labs, like I indicated earlier, in our regions and the regional offices. So when we pick these products, which we suspect maybe their registration status or quality, the screening is done at the regional offices through the use of the mini labs, and confirmatory tests are done at our head office. So we pick these things through our market surveillance, constant market surveillance, and we are able to pick these products that turn out to be either substandard or poor quality products, and we deal with them as we pick them.
All right, thank you. I'll be coming back to you, but let me come to the studio again and then speak to Mr. Percy. Mr. Percy, you mentioned the fact that the borders seem to be a challenge. I mean, what suggestion or what do you think we should do as an industry or as a country in order to resolve some of these challenges that come up at the borders?
Yeah, this is why, like you said, stakeholders collaboration is very important, because I always say that FDA is not everywhere, but FDA is everywhere, because wherever this importation work is happening, there are citizens, there are other state agencies like customs, national security. So we collaborate with them on matters of this. Just as even at the port we do. For example, at the port when we are doing the joint inspection, National Security is there, Bureau of National Investigation is there, customs, all other agencies. So the same way. So those areas along the border post that FDA is not physically there, that collaboration also go on so that our attentions are drawn and monitored. But like we are saying, our borders approach as a country must all do put enough resources so that we're able to man that places, so that as much as possible we'll be able to control the product that comes onto the market into the country.
Okay. And how is the FDA, ensuring also that imported product meet Ghana's Food and Drugs Authority standards?
Yes, before, like our policy of no registration, no importation. What it means is that before any product is imported, FDA put the products in what's called pre-importation registration. But this what it means that FDA will assess the documentation dossier on all the products. evaluate the labels, do laboratory analysis to test the safety and quality of the product. And then based on this, if everything is okay, then the product is registered. In the course of importation, the product also comes with scientific information like certificate of analysis. Others also come with other health certificate of freezes. All this one also give further assurances that the product as registered as they are coming have all those information. So when we evaluate all these ones before we give the permit, and of course we do joint inspection to also confirm the product registered is the same. Where need be, we store sample and do tests. So combination of all these things gives the guarantee that the products that are coming into the country of the market meet the standard as registered and also as they come.
All right. Why do you also think, people find it difficult to register their product before, importing them? Is it that the registration fees are expensive? Is it that the bureaucracy, it takes a very long time for products, for you to receive your permit after the registration? Why would somebody or an entity import and then not want to register?
Okay. Let me start this so that person will add to that. Our registration processes, to be very frank with you, are very, very friendly and very, very open. All the processes are published on our website, and we engage our clients a lot to ensure that they are abreast with every step of the registration process. Let me start with the fees. Currently, and anybody can check, on the continent, our fees are about the lowest.
When you say the lowest, are you able to back that with some figures for us? Maybe some comparisons. Why the FDA is saying that their fees are the lowest?
I will not give you comparisons, but I want to assure you that those figures as published on our website currently, and these are fees that have been approved by Parliament, are currently about the lowest on the continent. And I believe that importers can attest to this very fact. Again, like I indicated, our processes are very, very open, very, very transparent, and very smooth. When you submit an application, especially through when you come to submit an application at our head office or through any of our regional offices, you are consistently updated as to what is happening. If you call our hotlines, if you walk into our offices, you'll be told exactly where your application is at the moment. And we are even moving forward to even do this online application, and then you can identify where your application is at any particular point in time. And should you call or send even a mail, you will be told exactly where your application is. Our processes for the risk of being repetitive are very transparent, and every process that we undertake are part of what happens even internationally. So we are doing nothing that if you go to any other country to register a product, you'll find us doing something that is not part of an international process. All these are done to ensure that whatever product you put out there conforms to the quality, safety, and efficacy we are talking of. So I want to assure you and our listeners and those watching us that no, FDA's processes are not cumbersome at all. Our fees are not extravagant at all. And you will not be frustrated when it comes to registering a product. Those who might have said that one way or the other, eventually when they come back to us, so is this all that it takes? We have issues. Let me take this opportunity to even say that most importers, most people who want to register products, instead of coming directly to the FDA, decide to use some agents who would frustrate them, take monies from them. And then when the process doesn't go through and they come to us and we say, this is the fee, this is the process, we say, then why did I go through this route? So we want to assure everybody that FDA's processes are not cumbersome and our fees are nowhere extravagant. Thank you.
Okay, just a follow-up on this one. So are you saying that an importer could just come to the FDA and do his or her registration without going through an agent, or they require an agent to be able to do their registration, in that they need to get agents who are credible in order to have their registration successfully done for them?
In fact, the answer is capital N-O. You don't need an agent. Just walk into any FDA office. You don't need to pay any money to any agent. No matter how small that amount is, please don't. Just walk into any FDA office and you'll be taken through the process. You don't need an agent. I beg anybody listening to us, please walk into any FDA regional office or our Tema office or the head office and come and pick an application form. You can download the application form on our website, fill it, bring it yourself, walk in, submit it, pay the requisite fees, and I can assure you the process will continue. You don't need an agent. And let me add that there are people who go the way of trying to use clearing agents to register their products. It doesn't work that way. The clearing agent is there to clear your products for you when they arrive at the port. But you owe yourself a responsibility to register your product. So walk into the FDA offices, the regional offices, head office, Tema office, and I can assure you it will be a smooth process for you. You will love it when you come to FDA. Our officers are very friendly and will encourage you to go through the process without any hitches.
But I'm sure if the importer is busy and he doesn't have time and he needs an agent to do that on his behalf, I don't think you discourage that. Because then the agent will say you are kicking them out of business.
We don't have a problem if you use an agent, but don't complain about FDA when your agent gives you, or your agent frustrates you, or your agent adds cost to what you are paying. It is not a cost from FDA. That's all that we are saying. If you decide to use an agent, that is your choice. But make sure that the agent is doing the right thing for you, and the agent is not adding to the cost that FDA is charging, so that at the end of the day, you won't say that this is FDA fees are excessive. No. We will discourage the use of agents, but if that is your choice, please, you can go ahead, but make sure that the agent is taking you through the right path to ensure that your products are registered.
All right, thank you. Mr. Percy, you wanted to do some add-ons?
Yeah, in fact, exactly the challenge what Mr. Benny have said, because the FDAs have systems that offer support even to the not necessarily importer but general clients. For example, FDA appreciate that some of our clients may have maybe low, small scale. So FDA have industrial support, and there's also a scheme known as progressive licensing scheme. These are all the structure within FDA that supports those who have come to do business with FDA, either product registration or warehouse facility licenses or manufacturing facility licenses. We take them through A to Z and support them through that process. So there's enough processes available to support them. But the biggest challenge, what he said, when people are using middlemen who don't have the time, that's the truth. They don't have the time.
The people who don't have the time, or the middlemen.
Yes, that's the point.
The middlemen also don't have time.
The time to follow up. Because this is a scientific work we do. Sometimes we put in the application, we may need to bring certain documentation to support it, and they don't have time to follow all those processes. So once they start the process, they leave it and go and sit and work. So this is what always brings problem between the importer, because the importer may think that safety that is frustrating their businesses. On the contrary, it's not the case. That's why when you asked me initially, and I said that for the year we could see that now the rate at which we are clearing consignments with registered registration numbers is going high, while that of the those who have no registration is going low. Because of this no registration, no policy, we engage them and support them. So like he's saying, we must, if you want to register a product, if whatever you want to do, please walk into our client services, go online, send him a call, and people are there to support you so that you'll be able to register your product and do your business seamlessly.
Okay, so still staying with you, has there been an improvement in the registration of, for instance, the pharmaceutical products?
There's been an improvement of general product that FDA regulates. Like I'm saying, the data is, if you look at, like say, compared to previous years, if you look at the rate at which products that are coming are being cleared with pseudo registration number because they are not registered, and current the one that we are doing registration numbers, you could see that it's very high. I can pick some specific products. For example, if you pick frozen meat and fish products, you can confirm from them. As we speak, they are about 90% of every product that is declared is registered. Because of this kind of supporting system that we are engaging, and it cuts across others. Those that are also coming through door-to-door small ones, we also collaborate and work with them to meet our requirements. So gradually, you could see that a lot of clearances that we are doing at the port are registered. You can confirm this once again from JIFs and other association bodies.
Are there any rebates for, importers of products? I mean, if you want to register products in large quantities, are there any rebates for them from the FDA?
Yes, I know that if you look at the fees and charge legislation, there are targets for product registration in terms of volumes. So there's one for a single registration. For example, if you pick food, maybe first 30 product, there's a fee, 30 and above, there's a fee. So there's that kind of system that is also approved as part of the fees and charges legislation to support the business community.
Okay, in that sense, some importers can just come together to consolidate and then come and register just to enjoy those rebates?
No, I don't know how they can come together because the product registration goes to a company. Okay. So I don't know how they will come together. If they will come together under one company, fine. But for example, people bring a large volumes, like the supermarkets. Let me use that of them. So some of them can bring about 1,000 products. So that is the way we manage and register such products. But coming together as a group, how are they going to own the registration? Because we wouldn't be able to. We wouldn't, as part of our procedures, you cannot be bringing the product in your names. The product should be coming in the name, company name as being registered. So that will be a challenge, unless maybe among themselves they find a way of using one company to legitimately go to the process. And I don't think FDA will have a problem.
Okay, let me stay with you. What challenges, does the FDA face in safeguarding the ports and borders? And how are those challenges being addressed?
The main challenge is where we are, no registry. People still, the issue of bringing unregistered products still persists. And how we resolve them is that we detain the consignments or seize them. We prove them through the requisite registration, regulatory processes, and where necessary, we can sanction you. If it doesn't meet the right standard and safety, we destroy them at your cost. Another challenge we also have is what we call misdescription, undeclared, and concealment of regulated product. And these are the areas that brings what we say delay to the importers, because instead of declaring the product that you brought, they will not. So when we get to those products through the scanning system, Intel, definitely you have to bring all of them back again to go through the processes, and all these things will bring detention, the delay to them. And how we address them is what I've said. We use the scanning system, the scan images that is provided by Stakeholder Customs to be able to identify those that did not declare or those that is misdescribed, to be able to bring them appropriate regulatory action against them. The ICOM still provides us with the biggest opportunity where, like I said, all imported products are on that platform. So you'll be able to track all consignments that are coming and be able to work with them. And of course, we still do have some delays using that platform. Sometimes the downtown also affects the rate of the speed to which we process our application. Once again, some of the clients also come and start the process, and per our procedure, if you put in the application, if not paid, we cannot go and we cannot proceed with processing. Some of them will start the application and they will not go and pay. They can leave them there. So all these things also bring delays. And how we are managing them, we will continue to do stakeholder engagement to draw the attention on this. And also in terms of currently, our major challenge, if you ask me, is the illegal importation of unhygienic, unpackaged diapers.
Okay, so we'll come to that. We have to go for a break. When we come to when we come back, we'll delve into that, because there are those who also accuse the FDA, saying that they've seen you destroy certain products, but they think, just because the importer did not register, not because they are unwholesome, but because the importer did not register. So we'll go into all that after the break. You're still watching High on Port. Tonight, we are discussing how to safeguard our ports and borders against uncontaminated products. We're looking at the role that the FDA is playing in this regard. We're going for a break. We'll be right back.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come. Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Raw 95.
Fuel up with Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for a
Choose Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Raw 95. Goyle, good energy.
Goyle is good energy. Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah, our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima,
tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, We connect. You thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, so you're welcome back from the break. Tonight we're discussing safeguarding the ports and borders against contaminated consumables. We're looking at the role that the Food and Drugs Authority is playing in this regard. And tonight we have Joseph Yao Benny. He is the Director for Legal and Corporate Affairs at the Food and Drugs Authority. He's joined us via Zoom. And then I have in the studios Mr. Percy Adobako Jekum. He's the Head Center for Import and Export Control at the Food and Drugs Authority. And then I'm told I can activate the phone lines now. So the numbers to call to join the discussion, 0205-528353. The numbers on your screens, 0205-528353. You can call and join the discussion. So, Mr. Percy, let me come back to you. Before we went on the break, you were touching on some issues. So kindly go back to them for us before I read some messages. Yes.
Yeah, so I was saying that currently one of our major challenges at the port is the importation of unhygienic, unpackaged, unlabeled, loose diapers that comes in the bay like traditional what you call obroniwa or ofos.
Okay.
And these are products that are supposed to package that to be clean and sterile so that when you open them and use them.
Okay.
And looking at the manner side products come, you are basically exposing young children, females, and look at how females are predisposed. Looking at, I hope you understand me, and males, infants.
Yeah.
And this is what people are saying that FDA should let them import into the country.
Okay, so you hold on. This message is coming from Na, and Na wants to find out. She says, I would like to ask that what are some measures being put in place to eradicate the importation of diapers and tissues into the country? And this is because despite the measures put in place to eradicate this issue, people still import such sanitaries. So I would like to know how serious or effective these measures put in place are being ensured. This is coming from now.
Okay, so two things. Currently, as we even speak, you are part of the port community. You could see a lot of some of these unhygienic diapers that are brought in, which have been seized and are on their way for safe disposal at the cost of the importer, and other sanctions are also applied. And also, those, and most of these are, they will not declare them. They will conceal them. So through the scanning and interest, we're able to pick them at the port. However, if whatever which they also find themselves into the market, our market surveillance is also actively working and also arresting such importers and also seizing the diapers and applying the same sanction as I have said. So we are doing everything to ensure that these diapers do not find themselves into the country. And like I said, FDA is not against people bringing diapers. No.
Okay.
But bring your diapers registered, properly packaged, labeled, meeting all safety and quality tests. And FDA, none of them who bring their diaper in this manner have ever complained that FDA, they're having problems with FDA. It is those who don't want to bring their diapers at all costs in this manner who are having challenges. And FDA will not allow such things to go on.
All right, so when you go to the market, I mean, do you arrest the market woman selling it, or you trace to get to the importer and then effect the arrest?
There's a traceability that can get to the importer and even the agent who cleared it. So that system is there. So we can either from the port end or from the market. We are still able to get hold of those ones.
And then don't you think if the measures put in place to deter, such people are effective enough, and we wouldn't have this situation? Because, for instance, if an agent who imports such products, which are known to be unwholesome, are banned, then they are banned from, continuing their business, their clearing business. Don't you think this will go a long way to resolve this problem?
I think currently, maybe Mr. Benny can pick that one. I think currently there are even persecution going on, so he can pick that one.
All right, Mr. Benny.
Let me quickly add to this. Like Percy said, we have sanctions that are imposed. It comes in the form of administrative fines that are imposed. Some of them are quite hefty, and we safely dispose of the products, and then we also have the opportunity to prosecute some. So we are currently preparing to prosecute some of those who would think have become very recalcitrant in terms of this particular activity. So banning the importer or the
clearing
agent might not lie within the powers of the FDA. So it is the courts that can do that. So once we go through the court system, go through the process of prosecution, the courts can do that. But from our end, either we are safely disposing of the product, we are delisting you, or we are imposing administrative fines on you to ensure that you do not repeat those things. So those are the sanctions that are open to us currently. And once we go through successful prosecution, we publicize this thing so that people will be aware that this particular product, this particular company has done ABCD, and this is what the courts have done. So if we go through successful prosecution, we'll publish or publicize this information that the public will be aware of.
All right. So on the fact that you mentioned that the courts are those that can ban the clearing agents, for instance, I know the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority licenses some clearing agents and all that. So if indeed you work closely with them, you don't think you can get them not to be renewing their licenses if they've been found culpable to have brought...
Clearing agents do not come under FDA. If you talk about the importers, yes. If the importers who would register the product for, we can decide not to register the product for you again. That one can be done. But I'm talking specifically about the clearing agents who do not come under FDA's purview. So for them,
So what I mean is that if you have a list of some of them who haven't, complied with your rules, and you spoke about stakeholder collaboration earlier, can't you work with customs? So you submit a list of those that you see to be recalcitrant to customs to say these people do not, comply with our rules, and we think it's our time. You don't renew their license and all that.
Yes, I agree with you. That can be done. When we have such a list of people, clearing agents that we find very recalcitrant, of course, we can submit their names even to their associations for the associations to deal with them. What I really meant is that we can't directly ban them, but I agree with you. We can submit their names to whatever regulator regulates their activities for action to be taken against them. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to find out from you, how are you also leveraging on your partnership with international bodies to ensure that you execute your mandate well in this country?
Okay, so FDA very well collaborates with international agencies, WHO, and other institutions. We also liaise very well with other regulatory authorities, national regulatory authorities, to be sure that we are all on the same platform, applying international best practices and systems to ensure that products we regulate that pass through our systems are meeting those standards. So when it comes to international partnerships, we attend workshops, we engage in seminars, we organize trainings for institutions or regulatory bodies that on the international scene are quote unquote a little below us, to encourage them to bring them up If we are in situations where we also need to learn from other agencies, we collaborate with them. So seminars, workshops, forums that are open to regulators, we take part in such. We also send our staff for training at international levels and local levels to make sure that we are all abreast with prevailing systems and standards to ensure that what comes into Ghana are the best of products for our use. So internationally, we collaborate with every known body that is in that space when it comes to regulation. So we're out there, very active, normal interactions, and then we are engaging also with, for example, I mentioned WHO. Currently, FDA is at a certain level, and we are trying to get up to the topmost level when it comes to regulatory bodies' activities. So we are out there interacting with international bodies, making sure that our systems are one of the best when it comes to regulation in the whole world. So we are interacting with international bodies and regulators as well.
Okay, so let me come back to the studio. Mr. Percy, you wanted to make some additions? Yeah, okay, all right. So this one says, Kwame from Accra, he says, the FDA man in the studio mentioned about 90% of imported products are registered. Did he mean a particular category or all products? If you could mention that.
Like I said, I give general improvement in the level of compliance of products that are coming, have been registered. Okay. I put specific one on frozen meat and fish products. For them, the figure their leaders share with me indicate that currently, at minimum, they are at about 90%. All consignments are product registered, and the rest we are continuing to assist them registering.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but once again, if you can be verified from GIF itself, they haven't brought figure, they themselves appreciate that their level of compliance have also gone high.
Okay. We hope this continues. And
yes,
so, Oyema from Tema says, good evening, Iron Port. Regarding their role in the port, sometimes FDA registration procedures result in delays, even more than 3 to 6 months they usually give. They really have to check that or make flexible alternatives for the trader to get the goods cleared in situations in certain situations. Okay. So that's what Oyema is saying from Tema.
Let me start. Let me give a little input here. When it comes to registration, it's a two-way system. It is not only about FDA, but like we have indicated, we are looking at the information that the applicant has provided. When the information is adequate and sufficient for us to register the products, we do. There are points where you need some additional information, and so you ask the client to bring you that information. It may happen that the client is the one delaying. What happens is that most of the time, either the client is not directly in touch with the manufacturer, so that the client is not able to get the information immediately for you. The client is also going through another level of contact before he or she gets to the manufacturer. Okay. And that delays. Most of the time, they do not take that into consideration. But if you don't have that information, you will not be able to proceed with the registration. So we also want to encourage applicants to make sure that either they are dealing directly with the manufacturers or dealing with credible people who have access to the manufacturers, so that when we need information, they can quickly and swiftly provide that information for us to be able to proceed with the registration.
All right. So are you saying there haven't been times that maybe delays have come from your end? Because that's what Oyema seems to be saying, that there are certain times that the FDA delays.
It's a human institution. There might have been 1 or 2 instances, but on the average, and on a normal day, it doesn't depend on FDA. Most of our processes are, like I said, very open and swift. So a human institution, you may have 1 or 2 instances, but let me assure you that most times it is not due to FDA's internal processes that is delaying the registration process.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I will be coming back to you to also talking about the challenges that you face, Mr. Percy. You know, there have been some articles, for instance, people criticizing the FDA of destroying some items that haven't been registered. So it's not because they are unwholesome, but because they haven't been registered. So you people go ahead to destroy such items, and people think, I mean, that for such items, why don't you, donate it, or give it out or charity or something? But then you go ahead to destroy such items just because they have not been registered, not because they are contaminated.
I don't think it's entirely the case.
Okay.
Because FDA, as a scientific organization, operates on the basis of REX base.
Okay.
REX. So, and it's not every product that you have to necessarily go into test, because the obvious is there. So, for example, this loose unhygienic diapers, what are you going to test?
You can see. The evidence is clear.
Evidence is clear. You have people bringing high REX product like milk, and all the labeling is not in English or any language that we can understand. What are you going to test? How is the end user going to use the product? So once FDA make a decision to destroy a product, means we are convinced by all available information that such products have to be destroyed.
Let me add to this.
Okay, Mr. Ben, go ahead.
Okay, so the question says that it is safely disposed of simply because it is not registered, and not because it is not
and not because it's unwholesome. Yeah.
Not because it's unwholesome. Who determines that? When was that established? You see, when you look at registration as a piece of paper that is given to you, that is where you may come to that conclusion. Exactly. Registration is to ensure that the product meets safety, quality, and efficacy standards. So if the person has not gone through that process, how then are you concluding that the product is not unwholesome? You can't conclude on that unless the product has been registered. Like Percy said, the label itself might be an issue. And what some people don't even realize is that you might see a country of origin on a product. You might see a particular manufacturing plant on a product. If you go down to check, you'll be shocked and surprised that this unregistered product is not coming in from that country that has been listed there. So why do you risk and to go and give this product to somebody else? No, it's very risky. If the product is not registered, please, it means that it's not gone through the process for us to be convinced of the safety, quality, and efficacy of that product. And therefore, if you allow me, I will say it is immorally wrong to even attempt giving that product to somebody else, unless the product has gone through that. That is why we safely take it off the market, take it off, and allow the importer to go through a process to ensure that that product eventually is registered, and we are all convinced of the safety and quality of the product, so that we can allow the product onto the market.
Okay, so let me stay with you, Mr. Benny. So could you share with us some success stories, as to the FDA trying to, or instances where the FDA has been able to prevent some products from entering the market which are unwholesome? Are you able to share some success story with us?
Yeah, I'll start, and then I'm sure Percy can add to that. Look, there has been instances where a product like oxytocin, very vital when it comes to childbirth. When ladies go to the labor ward and they give birth, in terms of bleeding and etc., oxytocin is applied to them to help save the situation. Yeah. We've been able to avert such a dangerous situation by not allowing this product to get into the market and taking it off. Okay. We also have recent instances of benylene with codeine, a banned product. We've been able to ensure that it never entered the system. We have also had situations of course, we've just mentioned the issue of diapers. Very critical when it comes to child health. Infants at that level go to use this contaminated or safe products at that early age. So there are instances that we've been able to see all this, ensure that these products do not get onto the market. I think President even mentioned an earlier one when it comes to frozen meat, which we have also been able to stop from getting onto the market. So we have instances where our systems have been able to ensure that these products do not get onto the market. And I think this is a good opportunity for FDA to let the market, let the people of Ghana know that, yes, we are safeguarding their health and safety through the systems that we are implementing at the ports and throughout our systems and our processes. And I'm sure my colleague Percy can add to some of these success stories.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
just to summarize what Mr. Benny have said, and like the port, even customs own laws, if a product is declared unhygienic, unsafe, by their law, they will not even let it come out. That is why all those, for example, the Berlinen is a banned product. The safe disposal was done at the port by all the stakeholders, customs, national security, FDA, NACOP. The same way, the diapers, as we've seen, as we speak, some are there that in the course of the week, they will find their way to the dumping site. Yes.
Okay.
And we will invite you, because we are part of the port community, to actually witness that. And sometimes other, for example, frozen products, if they come to the country and could see that the cold chain has been is broken. By cold chain broken means such products are supposed to be stored at highest temperature of minus 18.
Okay.
Sometimes they come and it's about 2 degrees.
Okay.
Obviously, all these things are prepared under the stakeholder engagement through Port who lead us, all the stakeholders, and they are safely disposed of, and of the surcharge to the importers. And among some of these things, Mr. Benny can confirm some of them are also going through persecution. For example, the issue of benenifcodeine is a banned product. So if you conceal them and the FDA finds them, it's not a matter of safely disposal. There are prosecution as well.
Okay. So let me stay with you before I go to Mr. Benny. So in all these, I mean, what role do you expect the consumer? How vigilant should the consumer be? What role do you expect the consumer to also play to help to complement what you are doing?
The consumer, obviously, we are all consumers anyway. So every consumer must pay attention to every packaged product you buy and use, and other what you call hot meal also there. But with respect to especially to packaged product, first of all, you must check that the products are registered, and you can do it by two ways. For locally manufactured product, FDA registration numbers are on the product. You can see if it's some imported product that are own brand, you will see some of the registration numbers are there. You can see. You can also FDA have the register of all registered products on our website. You can also follow up, and this is the start. There's also currently, as you said, the GSI and also what you call the proper sale platform. Currently, all imported products are being uploaded per purchase onto electronic platform. We encourage that through the checking of the proper sale, you'll be able to also follow up some of these, the registration status and the batches as coming to the country on the platform. Additionally, we must also consume, I say we because we are consumers. Yeah. When you pick a product, apart from the registration status, you must also look at basic information, the date markings. When is the product produced? Primarily, when is the product supposed to be expired? Very crucial. You must also follow the usage instruction. Every product, it's like a machine comes like a manual, has prescribed the steps you must go through to be able to use it to derive the benefit of the product. We must pay a little attention and read all this information. Some products, especially canned products, must also check physical attributes, like is it dent, is it rusted, all these things, you must take note of them. Okay. And when in doubt, you can always reach out to FDA on our social media engines, on our website, our client services, our hotlines for assistance.
Okay. Mr. Benny. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Yes.
So yes, I know you work with whistleblowers as well.
Yeah. So we encourage whistleblowers to give us information as to what people are doing that will be at the negative side of the health and safety of the people of this country. We encourage people to be very patriotic, to help us with information that will lead to us unearthing those unethical practices, either in manufacturing firms, on storage, warehouses, or wherever anybody is undertaking a process or an activity that will not inure to the health and safety of the people of this country. We encourage whistleblowers to, we have quite a number of them assisting us. And so we encourage that such things happen. Let me quickly add that every consumer,
we have 30 seconds.
Every consumer must make sure that he's well empowered with knowledge to ensure that whatever you are consuming is good enough for your own health and safety. Don't say that it is the duty of FDA to ensure that some products are not out there on the market. Equip yourself with the knowledge that FDA provides, and therefore when we walk into any facility to patronize a service or a product, you know that what you are patronizing is FDA approved, which will be good for your own health and safety.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Eye on Port. We'll be discussing safeguarding the ports and borders against contaminated consumables. We'll be looking at the role of the Food and Drugs Authority. And I've been doing this discussion with Joseph Yao Benny. He is the Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs, Food and Drugs Authority, as well as Percy Adomako Ejikum. He is the Head Center for Import and Export Control at the Food and Drugs Authority. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Solomon Anderson. Do watch the abridged version of Eye on Port on GTV on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Thank you for watching and join us again same time next week.